Father, you have put a desire in my mind. You have written your law in my mind. And that law is walk as Jesus walked. Live by the principles Jesus lived by. Live saying, not my will, but your will, God, every day. And every moment of every day. Unconsciously, not my will. The Holy Spirit will prompt you. No, not that way. Go this way. Listen to that prompting. I will write my law in your mind. I'll give you the desire to walk by the principles that Jesus walked by on his life on earth, because he was tempted like us. And he overcame by the power of the Holy Spirit. And not only will I give you that desire, I will write. That means I'll give him grace in your strength in your heart so that you can walk by the same principles that Jesus walked by. Jesus never got angry once when it concerned himself. They could call him the devil, they could spit on his face, they could do whatever they like. No. You think he was not tempted to be angry? He was tempted like us. When people insult you and call you all types of bad names and tell false stories about you, you're tempted to be angry, sure. And they told all types of false stories about Jesus. He was tempted, but he didn't get angry once. Because the Holy Spirit gave him strength in his heart. No. Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're saying. I'm not living here to please them. They can tell whatever story about me or that they like. Maybe they're telling story about your children. Forget it. Can somebody spoil your children by telling stories about them? No. You'll spoil them by not forgiving those people. By teaching your children not to forgive those people, you're spoiling the children. You're the one who's spoiling your children, not those people. They're only telling false stories about your children. But you're the one spoiling your children by teaching them to have a wrong attitude to those people. Many CFC parents have spoiled their children by criticizing others, by defending your children in a wrong way, protecting them. Oh, my dear girl, did they say that about you? Oh, forget they are evil. Why not teach your dear little girl to forgive them? It's okay. Jesus is with you. God is your Father. He will not let anything happen to you. Do you know the hair on your head is numbered? Do you teach your children that? That the hairs on their head are numbered? That they are more value to God than all the sparrows in Bangalore? Those are the things we should teach our children instead of gossiping about what that young brother did and what that young sister did. And look at the way that person is dressing. Did you see that way that girl dressed and came to CFC today? Instead of looking at that, tell them to look at the sparrows. Your children will grow up godly. We have taught our children all types of useless things in 2018. Is it going to be different, parents, in this year? Teach them to look at the sparrows. Teach them to remember that the hairs on their head are numbered. That God is a loving Father. If earthly fathers give bread to their children, you tell your children, your father, you may be young, my little boy, my little girl, 10 years old, your father will fill you with the Holy Spirit. Why not? Is there an age limit for being filled with the Holy Spirit? Do you have to be 45 before you're filled with the Holy Spirit? Rubbish.